is Alan Weinkrantz for Dedicated Hosting. I'm here today with Omar Uddin, who's with Uvision, and welcome to this discussion. You're actually being captured on Skype today. You're with Uvision, and you're helping on this new project called Volunteer Act. And we visited a little bit when we met at South by Southwest. Tell us a little bit about this initiative and kind of what's this all about.
Well, actually, it's been alive for almost 5 years now. The government, specifically the Department of Commerce, had contracted us to build a volunteer management database. Very simple database, but it was to consolidate 24 different volunteer programs across the nation. These programs were recruiting volunteers to protect the national marine sanctuaries, which is they're basically like maritime protected regions, kind of like parks, but they're in the water, and the United States protects them. Basically, the volunteers were helping out, and the time that volunteers were contributing was very valuable. The government essentially had us build reporting from this database that enabled them to raise money from Congress because they were able to convert the volunteer time value into a financial statement that basically showed how much productivity they're getting, and that's why they need funding. And Congress used this data. On average, 100,000 hours per year was reported. 1,500 volunteers, a couple thousand different, short-term projects. But it was very impressive for me when I was able to build a case study finally after 3 years of history. And I was amazed by the fact that Congress would use this data to fund these initiatives and give these sanctuaries more money. And then I realized by talking to other nonprofits who we work with in the environmental sector that essentially this is a common thing. Essentially what we're trying to do is enable any cause, any grassroots organization or large organization to tap social media channels and convert followers into volunteers.
That's very cool.
Basically, management of volunteer data is how it all started. But recruiting is what we're moving towards. More effective time management and task management is what we're trying to do. Basically, you can put out an opportunity on your you don't even need a website. You just launch Volunteer Act. You set up Twitter, and essentially a website is automatically created for you that people can now register to. We call it an outreach hub. It's a way for you to present your events that you need help for, tasks and roles and skills that you're looking for as an organization, and volunteers can choose to register and create a profile and track their time and help you with collaborating on tasks or with events. And the applications are obviously can be limitless. You can raise money with volunteers, and my own personal goal with Volunteer Act is to solve problems like what you guys were talking about with how the Haiti catastrophe and how even hosting companies were responding and helping. And I was really amazed by hearing about that. And my contribution through Volunteer Act to the social change world is that I would like to promote a new type of first responder. I don't think we should just be relying on the government. I don't think we should just be relying on firefighters who are risking their lives every day anyways. I think that there should be a more coordinated network of trust. And the way you can do that is to eliminate money, eliminate power, greed, and all of these things, and focus in on exactly what is it that people are trying to do as social activists or social change entrepreneurs. And one way to do that is to create better tools to enable them to coordinate people and get things done.
So, Omar, this is really interesting what you're doing, but also in some of this change you're making, talking about your strategy that you told me about at South by Southwest, how you're using various hosting providers, different hosting strategies for different applications and for different uses.
Yeah, actually, I'll start off by saying that we had to build the predecessor to Volunteer Act for the government, and it was a painful process. 6 months of security screening and web app testing and policies, compliance, and so on and so forth. And we had to put it at their data center. We had to integrate it with their systems. And in the end, that was not a sustainable model. we had 5 other customers ask us for the exact same thing, slight modifications, each one having different requirements for hosting. They had their own. We decided that that was not sustainable, and we needed to look for a better way to deliver the same solution to everybody. Why should we be only going one by one to each organization? So as a business, we decided that a cloud or a SaaS, software as a service model, would be a better way to go, and to be able to really grow a company around that seems to be makes more sense all around,
Right.
strategically, financially, and so forth. So we chose a SaaS delivery model because we have other plans in the works for the application where we want to be able to deliver even a desktop version of the application, and by having a SaaS backend, it makes it very easy for us to monetize and be able to provide enterprise grade software. And essentially, we decided to go with a dedicated SaaS architecture and cloud for actually helping our organizations have a secure and private space in our cloud. That was a big requirement. Privacy is a big problem with donor data and constituents' data.
Sure.
There's laws behind it. The government had the same problems. They didn't want any voluntary data to be given out to anybody under any circumstance. So we have to ensure security still, but we offer a very low-cost model where subscription for you to use our software, and by being on the cloud, you can even tell us, hey, you know what? I have HIPAA compliance that I need to meet.
Right.
You can't share data with any organization on your cloud. I don't care what you guys say. Well, these days the government is actually realizing the value of going to cloud, and we can offer what they're looking for. So we can offer an isolated database, or we can actually build a separate cloud. It's just however much money they would like to spend. So that's
Okay.
the direction of where we've gone.
But you're using sort of a hybrid solution, aren't you?
Yes. We use cloud websites for all of our website needs from our front end,
Right.
but for the actual organizational data and basically multi-tenancy, in order to enable that, we chose a dedicated managed cloud that allows us to build any product. It's not just our product that we're building, but we can build any product on that cloud. So.
And how do people find your website URL?
Volunteeract.com, volunteeract.com.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Alan.